What is up, everybody? We got some Oloro Suicide Squad action for you. Esper Aristocrats. So opening hand, we've got Demir Aqueduct, Esper Panorama, turn that into White Source. We've got Muddle for Rally. Yeah, I like this. It's pretty good. A little slow, but we can make it work. We're going to keep. Who are we up against? We're playing against Ayli, Eternal Pilgrim. Okay, get behind that. Now, if they're gaining a bunch of life, we're going to have a pretty big graveyard, but we can make it work. So let's get down. We'll go and get the Coliseum down. Or we can get the Panorama down. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, but we'll go and get the Coliseum down past the turn. But yeah, this is Esper Aristocrats. Our win condition is Blood Artist, Sack Outlet, Immortal Servitude, Rally the Ancestors, any type of graveyard recursion to bring back a bunch of creatures. A lot of fun. And also, on a side note, guys, if you want your very own Blood Artist or your very own Sack Outlet, just like Oloro, head over to MTGOTraders. That's where we pull up at a pickup truck and say, hey, who wants to work? And Blood Artists and Viscera Seer, they all jump in the back of me and Oloro's truck, and we drive up to the game. So check them out. Let's see. Next up, we're going to get out Esper Panorama. We're going to gain 2 right here. Ooh, get into Imperial Seal. We need to get a White Source, though. So let's get down Panorama. Okay, so we've got a couple options. Let's see what we need to get into. So we're going to crack this Esper Panorama here in a second. But as far as getting the win condition goes, we want a bunch of creatures in the graveyard, and we also need a win condition. Immortal Servitude is nice for 2, but Immortal Servitude, you kind of use it in a pinch. So what we can do is we can Muddle, has Transmute, Muddle for something that costs 2, Rally costs 2. So we can use Muddle to find Rally, and we can Imperial Seal for Buried Alive to put Zulaport Blood Artist in the graveyard and a Sack Outlet, and we can also use Corpse Connoisseur. So let's go and crack this Esper Panorama. Oops. We're going to grab a Plains off that bad boy right there. Talk about an awesome Plains, man. That's beautiful. If I only have like one or so like basics in there of each one, you better know I'm making sure that we're about to have some fun with it. Let's get. Yeah, we're going to go into Demir Aqueduct, and then we'll just bounce the Plains back to our hand. And then pass the turn. But yeah, check out this Plains. It just looks like it would fit into an Esper deck right there, man. It's got the clouds over there. Normally you just see a big, open, beautiful field. But yeah, I love basic lands that kind of push their color identity. Like there's some mountains that almost look like a forest or like a Simic card. I always like that. But yeah, that's definitely pushing the boundaries on what a white land would be. I like it. It's good. We get into Demonic Tutor. Okay, so what? I made Demonic Tutor for another black source. We can Imperial Seal for a black source. I wouldn't mind getting into some Liliana action. Yeah, let's get down the Plains. Yeah, because we're using this for Rally. We're going to Corpse Connoisseur. We're going to need another. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go Imperial Seal. No, actually, let's Demonic Tutor. Because we got Muddle for Rally. They're going to Imperial Seal for a Buried Alive. I want to just make sure we've got enough mana. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to cast Liliana next turn. So let's grab a actually black-white. I want to grab a black-white. Let's grab Godless Shrine. There we go. The text is so tiny. I'd hate to click on the wrong land. Alright, so now we're going to be set on mana. So we're going to shock in Godless Shrine. We can get down on some Liliana action. Get down Skirt's Dag. Yeah. Well, not next turn. Both of them, but at least one or the other. So it gets down Ayli. And Oloro is the command. You may be saying, well, why is this Esper commander? Well, if you're building an Esper Aristocrats, it's a really good color shard to build Aristocrats in. Oloro allows us enough time to find our win condition, to get into enough creatures into the graveyard, because you have to mill yourself, you have to find a Sack Outlet, you have to find Blood Artists. There's a lot of setting up to do, so Oloro allows us to kind of just chill out, Gives us a nice little buffer. And especially against a deck like this right here, it definitely helps us. Ooh, increasing confusion. Okay, so I'm going to Shocking Godless Shrine. And before we start milling, I'm going to go ahead and muddle. Sure, opponent's going to be absolutely thrilled to see us search up Rally. Alright, so we're going to search up Rally. Rally the Ancestors. Okay. So that's going to go into our hand. And let's get down Scourge-Stag High Priest. Now, as far as setting up the Aristocrats, so Imperial Seal for Buried Alive, that's going to be, I'm pretty sure Buried Alive is 3 creatures. So we've got 3 creatures, we're looking at 4 on Corpse Connoisseur. We can get into some fun action with Liliana, and we also have just a mass. We can increase in confusion for a bunch, bounce it in there. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay. And he can start swinging in right now. I'm not going to block. Go for it. But we are at 2 commander damage. Do not want to lose track of that. So we're going to gain 2. Bygone Bishop. What's up, Bygone Bishop? I love it. Bygone Bishop is so good. I mean, he's not like an awesome card. He's just like such, like, I feel good every time I have him, no matter what deck I'm playing. So let's go. Maybe we can set up this turn. Yeah, let's get down Liliana. I'm okay with that. Or no, let's increase in confusion for a bunch, because I want to cast it out of the graveyard next turn. We already have our win condition, so yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to choose us. Tap for blue. 1, 2. 3 and 4. So we're going to mill ourselves for 4. It's not a lot, but if we draw land and cast it out of the graveyard, the good thing with increasing confusion is casting on its flashback. If you cast it out of the graveyard, it's the exact same cost, it doubles it. So right now we're just going to mill for 4. And then, so I'm trying to see what we got in the graveyard. We get a sack outlet in Viscer Seer, that's good. And then we also hit Athreos. But when you cast Increasing Confusion out of the graveyard, it doubles the amount of cards that you mill out. And since he's just going like kind of value creatures right now, we can kind of just wait it out. So we're looking at 4 commander damage being dealt by Ayli. And we can get down Bygone Bishop to deal with the emissary over there. Ashnod's Altar. Okay, that's another sack outlet. So let's go. Yeah, I want to get down Liliana. That way, if he swings in, we can block with Scourge-Stag. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to get down Liliana. And then pass the turn. And then, that way, if he swings with Ayli, we can block with the Scourge-Stag, get him in the graveyard, have a flipped Liliana, and that way we'll have a direct discard outlet with Liliana. You know, if he wants to try and take it out, he can take it out. And after that, we'll increase in confusion for 8. Because we could have increasing confusion, but I got down Liliana because I want to draw into 1 more land. And worst comes to worst, if we don't draw another land, we'll get down Ashnod's Altar, sack both of them, and then we can. Oh man, our opponent's hurting on mana. I just realized turn 7, he's only got 2 lands out. So we can get down Ashnod's Altar and then mill for a bunch. Because really, the sweet spot for an Aristocrats deck like this is you want like, 2 Blood Artists, 2 Blood Artist type effects. We have Blood Artist, Zulaport, and then Renegade. But he's getting a Demonic Tutor down on it. I would bet he's probably getting a land if he hasn't made his land drop for the turn. It always stings to use a Demonic Tutor for that, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, that's probably what we'll do next turn. Get down Ashnod's Altar. If we don't hit another land, because we hit another land, that'll be 5, that'll be 10 in the graveyard. I'm okay with that. But we definitely mill a lot. Yeah, we may just go and get down Ashnod's Altar either way. And then whenever she flips, she's going to be a 3, and then we'll +2 with discard a card. Yeah, so we can even sack Liliana and get her to flip. Ooh, Necromancer action. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Let's get on Astronaut's Altar. Now we can sack Scourge Stag to add mana on there. Liliana will flip, but I'd like to get into some zombie action with Necromancer. Yeah, I'm gonna go in Imperial Seal. We might be able to grab another little piece. We can either get buried alive or we can grab like a little sack outlet piece. Yeah, we're gonna need. I feel really good getting some buried alive action going. So we're gonna get buried alive on top. Play that next turn. Now we can sack Liliana right now. We miss out on the demon action. I mean, we can sack Scourgedag. He'll go into the graveyard. Yeah, I want to wait. I want to use Astronaut's Altar with Necromancer out there so we can really get a lot of value off of that. So basically, with the Necromancer out there, whenever we whenever we sack a creature, we get to whenever a human dies, we get a 2/2 black zombie. Yeah, that's the fun thing about playing Aristocrats is your win condition is like Blood Artist, but you can get into some fun stuff. I love closing the game out with creatures. It feels so magic good. It feels like you put in a good hard day's of work. Maybe you chopped a bunch of wood or something like that. I don't know. It just feels good it feels like a good hard magic day's work right there. And I'm curious, how did he I forget how he got in the graveyard. Maybe I missed it. Oh, he's got his own Astronaut's Altar. Yeah, I enjoy old art Astronaut's Altar. I always like old Borderlands, but the new one is so cool looking. Like, I've got to pick it up, man. I just love how that zombie right there with all the little purple. It just looks good, man. All right, so he's swinging in for 2 again. So we're gonna get buried alive on top. So let's get down the Necromancer. Now, if we sack the Scourgedag, we're going to get a zombie. We lose out on the demons, but that's not really our game plan. So we'll get a 2/2 zombie. Yeah, I like that. So we'll go and sack the Scourgedag. We're going to get a 2/2 zombie. Liliana's going to flip. We have 2 colorless. We can cast Buried Alive now. Yeah, we're going to cast Buried Alive. So with Buried Alive, we already have a sack out in the graveyard, so we're going to grab all the copy effects. So we're going to grab Blood Artist, Renegade Doppelganger, and Zulaport. Oh, hopefully I didn't click them too quick. That always makes me nervous. Okay. Okay, whew. Blood Artist, Renegade, Zulaport. Okay. And then each player discards a card, so we're going to chunk... I'm going to chunk Bygone Bishop, that way we can cast Corpse Connoisseur and grab one more thing. So we're going to chunk Bygone Bishop into the graveyard. And if we can get to Liliana's ultimate, whenever a creature dies, return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. So here in a second, I'm going to re-rack as far as what we got going on in Aristocrat action. Let's get to our opponent's side. Yeah, there's nothing else we're going to do. We're good. Okay, so we're sitting at... how many total creatures we got? Actually, I'm going to write this down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 creatures in the graveyard. We have 3 Blood Artist type effects, and we do have a sack outlet. So we're looking at 12 Blood Artist triggers right now. We have 3 creatures on the graveyard. Not 3 creatures on the. We have 3 creatures on the battlefield. So we're looking at like 15. How many humans do we have? Uh-oh. We got some Elspeth action. Now, if he starts plussing Elspeth, it's going to get a little tricky, but we can definitely get a lot of creatures in the graveyard. Put 3/1 wide. Okay, I like that. I'm okay with that. And if our opponent goes after Liliana, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not crucial that we win. You know, eventually we get to the spots where we can't do something. We get to the spots where we wouldn't want to dump any cards in the graveyard. So let's see how he swings in. Swinging in with the Emissary. Coming in for 2. Knocks Liliana down to 3. Yeah, I was making sure he swung in right there. Hollowed Fountain. Okay. So we're going to shock it in. Let's get down Corpse Connoisseur. And then we tap right there, and then we'll have enough to unearth it once we sack it, or yeah, unsack it with like that. So we're going to grab. Yes, we're going to use this ability. Let's grab the Reform, because the Reform is going to count for basically 4 creatures. And so that basically, that turns it into, we can deal up to 24 Blood Artist triggers now. Let's go and sack the Corpse Connoisseur. Add 2. We'll sack 1 more zombie. We'll unearth it. And then we're going to search for 1 more creature. Now, we'll have enough mana to bring back Grey Merchant. So we should, if we sack the Necromancer, we have Viscera Seer. If we get Pawn of Ulamog, Pawn of Ulamog will amplify it out to where we should get really close to closing it out. So we're going to get Pawn of Ulamog and then pass the turn. But I'm pretty sure if you sack the Corpse Connoisseur, yeah, it goes to Exile Zone. And yeah, that's all we want to do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can close it out. We'll do the math on our opponent's turn, but because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll need to, yeah, we'll have enough to, yeah, we can do that. Because Reform is 4. That'll be just enough to get it done next turn. As far as activating Liliana, I want her in the graveyard. So we can bring... Yeah, let's bring Pawn of... We could bring back Bygone Bishop, but I want him to swing in. So we're going to bring back Pawn of Ulamog. That way we can sack it. We have Liliana in the graveyard now. Yeah. Should be able to close it out now. Not now, but here in a second. Okay. So as far as next turn goes, we've got 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to have 12 creatures, 3 Blood Artists. We have Pawn of Ulamog. And we're going to have like 9 from Ulamog. So we're going to put it about 20. So we're going to have 20 creatures, 20 times 3. We're looking at 60 Blood Artist triggers. So it should be, yeah, we're going to be able to close it out next turn, especially if we sack the zombie to Ashnod's Altar. So So you can see why we kind of run Oloro. It takes a lot of setting up. It's you know, against an aggressive deck, Oloro gives you just enough time not to lose. But when you're playing a slower deck like our opponent's deck, I mean, I'm not calling his deck slow. I just mean like black-white. He's running a black-white Mother of Runes type deck. When you play something that's not beating you down every turn, it definitely just kind of almost gives you the game in a way with Oloro. Now this might, I don't know what he's tapping, but he's tapping for a lot. What you got going on, man? You got me a little scared. Massacre Worm. Okay. So actually, we're going to go ahead, in response, we're going to sack that so he doesn't get those -2. He doesn't get those triggers. In response, we're going to sack, get these bad boys into the graveyard, get them protected. Get a 2/2 zombie. Boy, we're going to protect that zombie too. Sack that Ulamog pawn. Just for fun. I feel like whenever I activate a sack outlet in response to something, I feel like there's a tornado coming, and we're like, run, run, get in the shelter! Get in the shelter of the graveyard! Necromancer closes the door right behind him. Okay, so he can swing in, let's see, 1, 3, 5, 6, 8. You can swing in for 7, drops down to 28, yeah. And if he taps out, yeah, we've got this. We're going to empty our mana of 10 colorless mana and lose that. Alright, so he's swinging in right now. Drops down to 29. Bloodstained Mire. We're going to put that down, go and crack that. And we'll just go ahead and grab a scrub land. We're going to go ahead and rally right now. We should be able to close it out now. The pain in the butt's going to be the Renegade Doppelganger's triggers. Not going to lie, guys. So get ready, man. Renegade Doppelganger, oof, it's pretty rough. Because it's just a bunch of triggers. It's really hard. It triggers for every single creature that comes out. Okay, so all of our creatures are coming back. I'm going to close down the commander. So we can get to work on this stack right now. I love resolving an Aristocrat's trigger. Okay, that's actually not too bad. We're going to close this out. So we're going to put this on this stack. We don't want Renegade to become a copy of Necromancer, no. Pawn of Ulamog, no. Liliana, no. Reform, no. Bygone Bishop, no. Sorry, you have to like manually do it. Zulaport. Actually, I'm going to wait for Blood Artist. Yes, that way if he gets some type of sack action, Blood Artist will trigger for that. Alright, now we've got 3 Blood Artists out there. Now it's time to start sacking. For a second I had a small, tiny heart attack. I was like, where's our sack outlet? I knew I counted a sack outlet, but then Viscera Seer's all the way on the right side. Now we've got all these triggers on the stack. And we're going to lose 2 life, but, well, we're going to be gaining 3, so we're going to get ahead on that trigger. So we're going to have to choose them right there. Boom shakalaka. Actually, this will be a little bit easier. Let's get this trigger up here. Get this right here. Get the Athreos trigger. Get the Reform. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and sack the Liliana so she doesn't flip. So we're going to get a 2/2 zombie. Blood Artist. Athreos trigger. Okay. So we're going to yield to the worm. Yielded the Athreos trigger. We're going to yield to the Blood Artist. And we're at 12 minutes, so we're okay on resolving this stack. All right, our opponent scoops, but yeah, we're going to get a bunch of zombies from Necromancer. We're going to keep getting the 0/1 Eldrazi spawn tokens from Pawn of Ulamog. And if my math is correct, I knew we were going to be able to do at least 60 points of damage. And as far as his Massacre Worm, every time one of our creatures dies, we're going to lose 2 life. But since we have 3 Blood Artist type effects, we'd actually gain 1 life from that interaction right there, and then he would go down 3. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.